Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my apartment. We're back home in Canada, as you know, if you've been keeping up with my videos. I actually got back in the beginning of February, and it's now March 2nd. I just cried my eyes out watching the Oscars because that's just kind of the person I am, I normally don't watch award shows, but found myself home on a Sunday. I mean, me literally every Sunday, but I'm like, ugh, I'll turn it on. And me pretending it was that easy. It took 48 minutes. And annoyingly, that's exactly the amount how long it took for me to figure out how to stream the Oscars. It would be easier if I got a flight and parachuted into the freaking dome that they were in to watch it live. Because what I had to do, actually the easiest thing ever, but in Canada, I don't know if it's different in America, but it's probably the same in America, but you need a TV subscription, a TV provider to watch it. Welcome to 2025, babe. Put it on YouTube. Not kidding. Why have these streaming services not partnered? Anyways, downloaded my friend's NordVPN. Shout out NordVPN. Please sponsor this video. And made my location Hungary. And streamed it from Disney Plus because apparently Hungary likes their citizens and they let people watch things live. I didn't watch The Brutalist. I will watch it. I just don't really have 4 hours to spare. Obviously, I have 1,000 hours to spare. I kind of wish I saw The Brutalist in theaters, although I said that to my friend the other day and she's like, oh, it's actually still in theaters. And I was like, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that because there's no way I'm actually going to go sit through a 4-hour movie in the theaters. I know there's an intermission still. Guess what's happening in the intermission? I'm going home. I just know myself too well. Although when I was in Italy, I went to Wicked and I'm not a movie theater goer. However, Sean Baker's speech about movie theaters did inspire me. And I will be probably going maybe once a year now instead of never. So thank you, Sean Baker. Love your work. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I was shocked at the decorum in the movie theater in Italy. I mean, not it matters what country. I'm sure this happens all over. My friend in the UK complains about this all the time. Flex that I have a friend in the UK. But people in the row ahead of me are on TikTok. They're on Twitter. They're on Instagram. They're on Snapchat. They're on their phones. What happened to Tommy Texter? Bring back the Tommy Texter commercials. These people, and obviously they're 21-year-old girls. When I'm in the movie theater, I mean, I don't turn my phone off. I'm not a boomer, but my phone is on airplane mode. I'm sorry, it's not on airplane mode. Who is flying the damn plane? It's on do not disturb. Brightness is off. Sound is off. Nothing. I'm not reaching it until we're actually walked out of the theater. This is just respect. So I was really shocked that people actually use their phones in movie theaters. Is that comment? Here we go. Let's get the engagement up, guys. Comment below if you also notice that people have been on their phones in movie theaters. I was actually shocked. I said that I wanted to have more, sentences are hard all of a sudden, have more structure. What I'm reading, what I'm watching, and what I'm listening to. So let me just get started with that. So my first note, crying watching the Oscars. We already touched upon that. Done. What I'm reading ACOTAR still. I'm reading the third book, the pink one. For those who aren't colorblind, which is A Court of Wings and Ruin. And I still love it, but I've been reading other books because I'm going to the library now. I know. The thing about me, how in the hell do I have a $10 fee from the library from late credits already? It's $2 a book. How did I have 5 books already that are people you save so much money at the library? Not me. This is more expensive than ever. Anyways, I got a book from the library and I had to return it within a week, which is already insane. But I didn't realize it said FR and I'm like, oh, French. Then I opened, I'm like, English. Ha, idiots. They labeled it wrong. Babe, FR means fast read. So didn't know that. But when I scanned it, I had 7 days to read it, which is crazy because it was a 400-page book. That's nothing to me now. That's nothing to 2025, Maxine. I can read that in about 7 days. It took me 7 days to read it, but I read it. All 4 is by Miranda July. All that to be said, I had to pause reading ACOTAR to read this book. And now that one's done, I can continue to read my ACOTAR fantasy books. So I'm literally staring at it right now. It could be a doorstop. It's so big. My friend came over yesterday. She's like, you're actually reading this thing? Yeah, babe. And you should see the ones I read before it. So that's what I'm reading. Still enjoying it. I'm watching. Oh, and thank you so much for asking. I'm currently doing my annual OC rewatch. Actually, it's not really manual. I hate this headroom. I hope I've punched in before by now. It's not really annual, but maybe because guess what, guys? It's a really bad show. There's no way I could watch it once a year. But watching it right now, and like, okay, put a pin in that for a second. Ones I do watch once a year: The Hills in the fall, obviously. Jersey Shore usually in the winter, like March area time frame. Sometimes One Tree Hill in the fall. Too many episodes though. I'll watch like the first few, like whatever. Now I will be watching Gilmore Girls probably every year. What else do I watch? Definitely The Hills and Jersey Shore. Anyways, moving back to The OC. Okay, The OC. Like, it's good if you watched it as a kid because it's nostalgic. If you were like, oh, I want to give it a try, don't watch it. It's bad. The writing is bad. Okay, Misha Barton, God bless her soul. She's probably a lovely person. Oh, really bad actress. Really bad actress, unfortunately. But the Misha Barton's acting actually makes everyone else's look better. Seth Cohen, Adam Brody, you can do no wrong. I love you. I love you. Your acting in this show is incredible. I love you as a person. I love that you wear little cute colored shirts, and I love that you're married to Leighton Meester. And I know you watch my video, so I just want to give you that big shout out. A note that I had of The OC is the music is incredible in it, and maybe it's just because it's like 2005 to 2007 music. When they like the bait shop or the bait shop. I almost said the bait room. What would that be? Caitlin Cooper's bedroom. Only people who watch The OC would get that one. The bait shop, which is the bar they go to, and they always have live bands like Death Cab for Cutie and The Killers, and they'll have like live Rachel Yamagata. Is that her name? Do you guys remember that woman? The singer? She probably still singing. I used to love her from the OC soundtrack. I've been listening to the OC soundtrack, but the music, sometimes I'll mute it because without music, it's just a lot of people looking like this into the ocean. Like, it's such a soap opera. I don't think when I was 16 and watching, I wasn't even 16. 2005, how old was I? Oh my God. I was 12? There's no way I watched that at 12. Actually, I wasn't allowed to watch that show, and maybe that's why. Anyways, it's a full-on soap opera. Like, the music, like, what would you call those, like, Hannah Montana isms of the transitions are so funny. Like Kirsten Cohen, Kiki Cohen, looking out into the ocean, just like fades to black, and then it like opens to a pool party. Like, anyways, okay, so I'm watching The OC. I also watched Smile 2 last night. One thing about me, if you don't know this, I love horror movies. Would never watch a horror movie by myself. I'm not an absolute psychopath, but I love scary movies. I love being scared. It's really fun for me. Loved the Smile movies. Why am I sitting like that? Loved the Smile movies because I just think it's such a brilliant concept. Like, what's scarier than someone just smiling at you? So good. I loved Smile 1. Really scary. Smile 2 was still really good. I think I preferred Smile 1, but Smile 2 was still really good. And literally that's all I have to say about that. Watch that movie. I don't think I watched Denora leading up to the Oscars, and I really liked it. Not swearing, but love Sean Baker. I finished it. Like, I watched it because my friends were like, you should watch it. So I watched it. My friends tell me to do something, babe, I'm doing it. And then I was like, I really like, this feels familiar. I really like it. And then I looked it up, and it's a Sean Baker movie. And Florida Project is one of my favorite movies of all time. I think he's an incredible director and editor and producer. So he's really the triple threat. And he did a great job with this movie. Mikey Madison. Is it Mickey Madison? Mickey Madison, whatever. The main actress, did a phenomenal job, and the casting for the Russian husband was so good. Like, that kid is crazy. Don't let him ever near me. Like, his energy is even too much for me through the screen. So anyways, that's what I've been watching. Okay, I've been listening to The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. The Miseducation of Miss Lauryn Hill. Is that what it's called? I think it is. No, The Miseducation. What? You guys know, I was introduced to that album literally last year by myself, by my Spotify, like, discover. Me being like, y'all ever heard this album? It's like every hip hop artist has sampled it. Incredible album. My personal favorites are Tell Him, and obviously really trying to not say the Drake one. Ooh. Why can't I think of the name? Anyways, love that album. That's what I've been listening to. And just like a lot of female R&B artists. Okay. So the next part I want to talk about is leaving Europe, because we haven't even caught up since what's been going on, and I have so much to tell you guys. Are we recording 11/11? 11:11. Perfect. Okay. So you guys I kind of showed it in my like leaving, well, in both my vlogs, maybe at the end of it, showing my bags. Not kidding. Like 3 giant checked bags. Well, I have a trinket haul coming and you're going to watch that and be like, how did she fit all this home? Yeah. A whole suitcase of trinkets, you guys. I was so nervous that, like, I don't know what they were going to say to me. I did my tactic where I just talked to the TSA agent while they're like putting them on the scale. It worked. Didn't have to pay oversized for either. They were all 3 oversized. They weigh carry-ons in Europe. I mean, pick a different problem that actually matters. You know what I mean? And yeah, so all 3 of my bags were oversized and they let me on with no baggage fee. So that's where my luck started. You want to know what happened after that? I was so excited to get on this flight because I booked myself premium economy from Paris to Montreal, which normally is expensive. But when I was booking my flights, like 8 months ago, it was like upgrade to premium economy for $70. I'm doing that. So I paid $70 more and I got premium economy. So I was so excited for premium economy, whatever. Because one of the best things about flying premium economy, won't be the last time I say it, is you are zone 2. So you can board the plane first and you don't have to worry about your freaking not fitting your carry-on and like waiting in line, and because it's a whole absolute nightmare, boarding a plane these days. However, can I just say, not the case in Europe. Any Italian airline or like Swiss Air, whatever, any airline that wasn't a Canadian or American airline, they know how to board a damn plane. Also, because a lot of the planes I was taking when I was traveling in Europe, you take a bus on the tarmac to the plane. So who cares what, like no one's lining up because we're all getting hurdled onto a bus and then, it's like not that serious. Anyways, flying Air Canada. They don't know how to board a damn plane. So I was excited to be zone 2. So they call zone 2. I go up, I scan my boarding or like I show my passport, give the guy my boarding pass. He looks at me, rips it and says, "You won't be needing this." I literally was like, I'm getting arrested. I will be stuck in this country for the rest of my life because I'm smuggling brass. I'm smuggling all these items and they caught me and I'm not getting on this plane. And all there is in here is a McDonald's. Anyways, he prints me off a new boarding pass, you guys. I look down, says my name on it. Below, 7D. And like, I can't count. That's what I thought to myself. She thought to herself, but that sounds like first class to me. Babe, they upgraded me to business class. They upgraded me to business class for free on an 8-hour overseas flight. I want you to let that sink in. Never flown business before in a way that mattered. I did once. It's not worth the story. It wasn't exciting. Nothing happened. It was like a 2-hour flight. Okay? Get over it. Anyways. I love telling you guys to get over it. Get over it. Okay. So he gives me this boarding pass and I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm like looking around like, is everyone getting this service? Like, what the hell? The woman, there's 2 doors to get on. Like, one is like the pleb door for like economy to get on the back of the plane. And she like scans her card and lets me into another section to board from like the front of the plane, like the first class boarding. I'm looking at her. She's looking at me. I'm like, what's going on here? 7D. Yes. So I flew business. Actually, there's like a thing. People are like, it's not first class, it's business class. I think that's what it is. Or is it not business, it's first? No, I think Air Canada only is business. It literally doesn't matter. It was a lie down seat for 8 hours. Babe. Me like trying to be chill. Like, just like, I'm just going to put my bag up here and like put my coat like under my chair. Like just, oh, these are all free, like Bulgovia. Can't even pronounce that brand. Products, like, oh, whatever. Like, I'll just give these to my kids. You guys, I will literally never be the same. It was unbelievable from start to finish. Like, everything. The seat, so comfortable. They give you giant over-the-ear headphones. The TV screen is huge. The menu was like, actually, the menu had 2 extra items that weren't like already being served in economy and premium economy because I looked. But they had like 2 others. And then there was just like unlimited, obviously, so much like actually good wine, everything served in a glass. You get real cutlery. There's like espresso. Like if you want a coffee, it's not like a drip coffee, it's espresso. You basically like, there's like 2 stewardesses in first class, which is crazy. Like you should maybe go help out everyone else. So they're just like always there to help you. I got up to use the bathroom like after the meal was served and everything. They give you a white tablecloth to put on your giant table in front of you. And anyway, so after everything was served, like clear everything. It's like kind of nighttime now. It was probably like 7 p.m. at this time, like Paris time. And I get up and they have like baskets of snacks at the front. And I like obviously grabbed a Kit Kat, babe. Like I'm watching School of Rock. I need a little snack. I pick up a Kit Kat. She like meets me at my seat and puts the white tablecloth on for me to eat my Kit Kat. I was like, you girls are freaking on it. It was incredible service. I was a little bit nervous to fly. I'm not a nervous flyer, but like the aviation world hasn't had a lot of wins recently. And anytime I'm flying over the ocean, it's just the tiniest bit like, don't love this. You know what I mean? But because of my first class experience, business class, sorry to you freaking narcs, the plane landed. I'm like, do I have to go? I'm like holding onto the leg of the stewardess. I'm like, please, let me say. It was so nice. And then, so I landed in Montreal. And then that was an 8-hour flight. This is flying in Canada. I'm landing in Montreal to get to Vancouver. Another 6.5-hour flight. And that one I wasn't upgraded, but I was still premium economy, which is good. Except I'm sitting there like, oh, like these people. Oh my God. Like I can't believe I'm being seen here. Not actually, but I definitely was like, oh my God, you guys, I could not believe I was upgraded. It was absolutely like nothing better could have happened. It was the perfect way to end the trip. It was such a cool experience. I cannot believe people just live like that. Like I have a friend that I was talking to and he travels for work all the time. And he's like, oh yeah, I always fly first class. I'm like, and you complain about traveling? You complain about traveling when you're in a pod. You're sleeping in a pod. And Veronica is bringing you a tablecloth for your Kit Kat while you watch The Wedding Singer. Like, you don't get to complain about traveling for work. Anyways, it really opened my eyes. I would say would recommend, but like, I have no idea why I was upgraded. I have no status with Air Canada. Absolutely none. I always book like the lowest. It's so funny. Like Canadian Airlines now, WestJet and Air Canada changed their language. It used to be like economy, like basic, economy, premium, first, whatever. Business. And now there's like one below basic. It's like basic or something that's like extra low where like you have to pay for your own carry-on, you have to pay for all your shit, whatever. And that's when I book now. Like I booked like the lowest. I have no status. I don't know why they bumped me, but I couldn't believe it. And just the drama of the guy ripping my boarding pass and being like, you won't be needing this. I'm like, yes, no, I won't. Oh my God. It was honestly so fun. So it was a lovely way to return home. Everything in my home is perfect. Anyone worried about the subletter, obviously nothing happened. It was totally fine. I got cleaners to come in. And so everything was spotless when I got home. Except you guys, and thank you so much for asking. Unfortunately for me, my landlord, and any plumber in the vicinity of this apartment, there is a noise in my bedroom. My heater, can you hear it? Obviously not. My heater is unfortunately making a humming noise. I just realized I'm sitting up. Like I'm really excited to talk to you guys right now. A noise that most people would literally pay for because it sounds like a fan or brown noise or like a noise machine. Literally my friend yesterday was like, you have a noise machine? I'm like, oh, it's my heater. The second I walked into my apartment at like midnight, I walked in. And I'm like, oh, it's so nice to be home. And immediately my ears like moved like a dog. I'm like, there's a noise. I'm so sensitive to like noise. Normal, like I sleep with my window open. I like the sound of trucks or like people walking or like I don't even mind sirens or people honking. Like I don't mind that at all. Intermittent noise is no problem. A constant sound in my bedroom. It's been 3.5, almost 4 weeks. I have never talked to someone more than I have my landlord, me telling him it needs to be fixed. And like, God bless him, he's doing the best he can. And 4 different plumbers that I've seen. Okay. The amount of cracks I've seen, about 4. 3. The last one guy came belted. Anyways. So unfortunately that is happening in my life. Everyone that's like, how's being home? It's the only thing I talk about. I'm like, it's great, but there's a sound in my heater. My friend was like, maybe it's squirrels. I'm like, unless the squirrels use a fan to sleep, because that's literally the sound. It's not squirrels. So everything else has been great except for the sound of my heater. Hopefully it's gone. Literally the last plumber was like, it's not going to turn off until summertime when the heating turns off. I look at him, I said, that's not good enough. I didn't say that, obviously. I said, thank you so much for the information. But it's bad. I'm going to be cool about it though. There's nothing you guys can do, and you probably are already bored of this story. We'll get over it. Okay. I also wrote, worst part about going on a trip is people asking you about it. I've famously said this for years. Not actually, I like tweeted it once 4 years ago. So the real fans know, but stories just come out naturally. Like, I like to hear about my friends' trips when we're like 4 weeks later at a dinner party and they're like, oh, and then this happened when I was in Japan or whatever. We don't need to like sit in a circle and then be like, and then what happened? And then what did you do the day after that? Like, that's just not interesting for anyone involved. And so I'm like done seeing new people. Like, I've seen everyone literally I know since I've been back, and I've had the how was your trip question like 7,000 times. So I don't think I'll be hearing it anymore. And it's like a delicate line, because my friend was like, oh, so you don't want me to ask about the trip? It's like, no, that's not it. I just think the question, how was your trip, is so insane. Especially like, I was gone for 3 months. It was like, what do you want me to say to that? It was good. Like, what do you want me to say to that? So me just being a bitch a little bit, but yeah, it's just a weird thing. And I've talked to everyone about it, because I'll tell them, like, I just find it's like a really hard question to ask, because like you know what I mean? Like, I was just gone for so long. It was incredible. But what do you want to know? And they're like, everything. I'm like, no, but you can't, like, there's like, you don't understand. There's no possible way that you can know everything. Okay. Like, you just can't know everything. So that's just what I've been feeling, and probably just need to come up with like a 1-word sentence that I can convey. It was incredible. I had the best time. This was a really great moment. This was my favorite place I visited. And how are you? Should have probably done that when I was flying first class, instead of like, there was back to first class. There was a moment when I went up to get my Kit Kat bar, and I had School of Rock Paws, and Veronica made up that name, but like, whatever, that's her name now, put a white tablecloth for me to eat my Kit Kat bar. When I went up to use the bathroom, also the bathroom was like pristine. And I came back, and everyone, babe, they give you duvet covers, okay? Or not covers. They give you full, like, down duvets, down pillows, like giant pillows to sleep with. Everyone in first class, I'm just going to say first, you guys know it's business. Everyone in business class was sleeping. I was like, wake up, people. Press more buttons. There's more things to do. The flight is only 8 hours long. Like, I want you... Listen to the music channels if you have to. Like, why are you sleeping right now? Like, I was actually like, you guys are pathetic. I literally remember thinking, like, you're a bunch of babies. Like, get up. Like, do more things in your seat. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I probably won't be upgraded again, but I have the experience to last a lifetime. Okay, I have a story. One of the things I was most scared about leaving for 3 months was my car, because my dad straight up told me, he's like, your battery's gonna die, but like, just back your car into your parking spot and then just get someone to jump the car. Huh? And when you say get someone to jump the car, what exactly do you mean by that? Because if you think I'm having anything to do with those freaking wires going into the brain of the car, first of all, back in my car into my parking spot, you lost me there. Okay, so I was just worried about that. I've seen videos on TikTok where like people open their car door and it's like covered in mold. Have you seen those videos? It's like there's like cones coming off this, like the fabric ceiling, and like spots of mold everywhere. And then I was like telling my friend, because anyways, I was like, what if someone steals my car? Because like no one's checking on it. And it's like on the news, like it's a big thing in Canada that cars get stolen, then they get like shipped overseas and they're on like a boat and with like an Ontario license plate. It's like actually kind of funny. But I'm like, what if I turn on the news? Never watch the news. What if I turn on, it's like my car's there? Anyway, so I'm just like a little bit worried about my car. Came back, obviously everything was fine from the outside. Opened my car. I had the mold in my car, you guys. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Like, I didn't notice until I like moved my seatbelt on and there was like specks of mold all over, and I was like, ew. And I was so nervous about my car battery, but car stuff is so embarrassing. I was like, if my battery dies in my freaking parking lot, this is so cringe. Like, all my neighbors would know. So it took me a few days to like actually brave it. I went, turned my car on. It did take a little bit, but it turned on. And I was like, thank God. Like, that could have been really embarrassing. So I know, because my dad told me, and I Googled, that when a battery dies, you need to recharge it by running the car. So I'm like, hey, I had a Facebook Marketplace pickup, literally day 2 back in Canada. I'm like, I have a Facebook Marketplace pickup to do. So, and it was in North Vancouver, which is like, could be like sometimes a 40-minute drive. Sorry, camera cut up. But it was the Facebook Marketplace pickup was in North Vancouver, which can sometimes be a 40-minute drive. So I'm like, perfect. I'm going to drive, and it's like on the highway. I'm like, this will be perfect to recharge my battery. I'm going to drive for 40 minutes on the highway, get the Marketplace thing, and then drive back. That's like an hour and a half of driving. That would be, my battery will be really happy for me to do that. A thankless job, really, being a car owner. Get to this area, to the Facebook Marketplace pickup, and it was a porch pickup, which is like the woman's not home. She has a job, babe. It's like Monday at like noon. And so it's just like on the porch, and it was in like quite an affluent area. It was one of like, it had signs being like, no through road, like local traffic only, and all. It was like very nice houses, kind of the vibe where like they don't want you there, like whatever. And I'm driving up, and with everyone has a super long driveway, narrow, like long driveways to their big houses. And I never do this, but I was like, I'm just going to park in her driveway because whatever. I'm just like literally running to her porch, grabbing it and leaving, because I know people are weird with parking in other people's drive, or like having someone park in their driveway. Like, this isn't Texas, but even Vancouver can be like, why are you in my driveway? And this neighborhood was definitely that vibe. So I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to pull in this long ass driveway, grab the thing, come back. No one's going to know she's at work. So I drive down the long ass skinny driveway, run to grab the thing, come back, go, car doesn't turn on. My battery died in her driveway. And literally, you could have not written one of my biggest fears. I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but that's literally my biggest fear written. Okay, there it is. That's a better way to word it. Like, literally, I thought my car dying in its parking, I thought my car battery dying in its parking spot was bad. Oh, imagine in Rebecca's driveway, sorry, Mrs. Smith to me, driveway in North Vancouver, when these people are like looking through their blinds like, whose dirty Mazda is that? Babe, it's mine. And I'm in her driveway. I'm not even on the street. Like, I'm in her space. Okay. So I like sat there and I'm like, this can't be real. Try it again. I tried it for probably like almost 10 minutes, to the point where I'm like, this is bad. Like, this is really bad. And I don't have like CAA or coverage like that. At least I don't think I do. Maybe I should read my car insurance. Anyways, so I start to go door knocking to ask someone, because also, you guys, I'm 45 minutes away from everyone I know in the city, and like, it's a Monday work day. Even if I had to like because I was like obviously voicing to my friends being like, I'm going to die here, like bury me and my car together before Rebecca Smith does it for me. Even if they could get there, it would be like an hour. And I was like, I need to get out of here, like helicopter me out of this neighborhood right now, because no one wants me here. I don't want to be here. No one wants us here. Anyways, I walked around, like a Tesla like drove in and out like into their long ass driveway, and I was like trying to get them to stop. I feel like they fucking sped up down the driveway, gates closed. Okay, not going there. I didn't actually knock on anyone's doors because I just thought that would be like really scary, and I was just looking for cars that looked like they were coming in or out, and literally no one stopped. I see a guy shoveling his driveway like 20 houses down. Like, I can just see a silhouette. I'm like, okay, imagine all you hear is like snow squeaking, and I'm like power walking to him. Okay. And it's like, everyone in this neighborhood knows their neighbors. He knows I'm not a neighbor. So I'm walking up to him and I'm like, hi, excuse me. I am so sorry to do this. Literally talking like that. I'm like, he's looking at me like, I'm so sorry to do this. I just picked something up from this house. I purchased something from this house. I didn't say that. That sounds like drugs, but it was like, my car battery just died. I'm so embarrassed. Is there any way you could help me boost? I don't even know jump my car. That sounds like you're stealing it, but like, whatever. I asked him, and he was like hesitant. He was like not really into it. He was like, well, Is your car old? I'm like, oh, here we go. Oh my God, this guy knows I'm not from here. Yes, my car is old, but that doesn't mean anything. It has really good bones. Okay, I keep really good. And I was like, yeah, it is. But I got a new battery. Anyways, long story short, it took me about like 7 to 8 minutes of trying to convince this guy. He's like, I think I have the jumper cables. I'm like, oh, that'd be great. That would be so good if you could help me. You're the only one here. Like we're in like Stepford Wives. Like there's no other human. Okay. Except for like the person like this in their blinds. So he's like, I think I have them like somewhere. I'm like, that would be great. He's like, you'll need another car to jump it. I'm like, do you happen to have one in your 4-car garage? Is there any way that you might have a car to help jump my car? That would be so great. Thank you so much. So he goes into his house and locks the door behind him into his house, which like whatever. I probably look sketchy as hell. My aura was frantic. Okay, so he did the right thing. Took him like maybe 10 minutes to find the cables. No problem. I have all the time in the world, babe. The cameras are recording at this house and the cops probably have my license plates, but like take your time. So he gets in his car and he's like, meet you at the house. Babe, we're not like I thought he was going to give me a ride, but we're 20 houses down. So now I'm jogging beside his car, driving to my car. Okay. That might be the worst part of the story. Get to the thing. He turns his car off way too far from my car. And he goes, I'm not going to be able to fit. Like the driveway is way too narrow. Like you're going to have to put your car in neutral and push it down the driveway. Huh? And what do you mean by I'm going to have to do that? I just did my nails. He's like, it's like, cause I told you I didn't back in obviously. Anyways, I'm like, you can do that? Like you can put a car in neutral and push it? He's like, yeah, there's a way to do it. He comes to my car with me. We get in. I have my weird Facebook Marketplace thing on the seat. I'm like, oh, like don't look at that. Anyways, I go to like just turn my car on to see. My car turns on. My car turned on. My battery was just playing a little trick on me. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I swear it wasn't working. And he ended up being like super nice in the end. He was like, it's no problem. Like glad it all worked out. I'm like, you were a really good person. You just like, thank you. Like you're good karma. I was like being way too. It's like your good karma's coming back to you. So thank you so much, man from like 207. You really are an icon. And then I drove away. And then I'm not kidding. I drove that car for 2 hours on the highway, white knuckling, just like this battery better fucking charge. I could not believe my car disobeyed me like that. Literally insane. So I hope you guys like that story. It was really traumatic. I drove it straight home, turned it off, gave it a very firm talking to. And then it didn't happen again, thank God. But that was like, what are the actual odds? Sometimes these things happen to me and people are like, of course it happens to you. But like, what do you mean by that? Like, why do these things happen to me? Because it'll be a good story? Like, maybe. Okay. Literally only two more updates. I feel like I've been talking for a good amount of time, like almost 40 minutes. That's pretty good, guys. I dyed my hair. Never dyed my hair before in my life. I dyed my hair and I did it in the way, and you won't be able to tell because I dyed it just my natural color. I did it in the way that people paint their nails when they need to stop biting them. I have a compulsion, okay, where I like to pick out my gray hairs. It's like a sick obsession because my hair is like almost black. When my gray hairs come in, I have so many gray hairs. Well, I used to before I started picking them all out. They just like stick out. Like I'll be like shopping and the only hair I can see is like one gray hair, and I'm just like pretending to like look at a shirt. I'm like, oh, it was getting really bad. So I'm like, I just need to dye my gray hair. So I went to a professional and dyed my hair. Although now that I'm thinking of it, it was just like one color. I'm like, I feel like, can I do this myself? Can you guys tell me, like, can I just get box dye and do it myself? I know it's not black, but I know like black box dye is really bad for your hair. Never dyed my hair. So it was quite expensive to do at a salon, of course. I'm just wondering, like, it was a demi washout because she said permanent. Obviously, when it grows out, like my gray hairs will come out, and like she said, I'll probably freak out more. So that's just a little bit of a life update about me. And the only other thing that I wanted to tell you guys, that I wrote down on my note was I threw out all my minis. I threw out all my miniature things. There was something about the mix of like being home, the sound in my apartment literally driving me insane. I've been walking around with my noise canceling headphones and blasting brown noise on this, and I feel like I can still hear it. Anyways, so it's just been a little bit cuckoo town in here, and my bag was like exploded everywhere. Like I couldn't unpack quick enough that I needed control over something. And my shelves, I was even like thinking about it when I was in Italy. I'm like, I'm just over my like pure. I'm looking at them right now. It's such good real estate, those shelves. Like I've had my miniature homes that I built, and like all my miniature like people and stuff, like little like Bevan, you guys know Bevan. I kept all those, of course, but the actual like structures, I got rid of them. I like tore off things that I like, and like I have a little miniature collection in case it comes back and I want to like put them on display again. But it felt so good getting rid of them. I'm not gonna lie. It just felt like fresh start, clean. I can dust, you know what I mean? And I had so many like treasures from Italy that I wanted to display on those things. So it's like kind of an end of an era. I still like little things. Like I literally have this little tiny picture frame that I'm trying to figure out where to put. But yeah, wanted to share that with you guys. Some people might be outraged. A lot of my friends and family were. They were a little bit concerned about me, but it's all good. I'm a very detached person. Like I will get rid of everything and it will be no problem. Is that a good or a bad thing? We'll never know. You guys tell me. Just kidding. Okay. I am going to go eat some food now because this really worked up my appetite. And, we started with hungry and we're ending with hungry. Was that callback was way too far, but like those who know my VPN story, when you have to explain a joke, it actually makes it so much better. Okay, I'm going to go, but thank you guys for listening. Again, God knows what I talked about. I don't think I said this, but like, doesn't matter. I was going to say I cried my eyes out, so my makeup's probably all fucked up. I probably should have started with that. Like, I don't even know what you're looking at right now. I literally like wept. Like there's probably 2 streams down my face, like the Joker. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. So happy to be back. So happy to have you all here. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.